That sounds like the basketball from the NES.
It's
Dun 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 dun.
You know what's you know what's stuck in my head now is
The match game.
That's a good one.
You have to tell the people what it is.
He doesn't even know, does he?
I wait, Captain Falcon, but it's
F-Zero.
F-Zero. Thank you.
Specifically the Super Nintendo F-Zero.
Gosh, Joshua.
Hey, I just grabbed a controller that wasn't plugged in and played.
You mean we gave you a controller that wasn't plugged in? And said, Josh, you're that guy that just passed me.
Hey, I just want to admit I did that with Jake's daughter when we tended them.
Oh.
His son and I were playing Minecraft, and she's like, "Can I play?" And so she started playing, had the controller, and then started using her feet on the controller, and was like, "How cool am I?" And I was like, "This is incredible."
And she was probably very impressive with it.
Yes, it was.
That is what
Unconnected
we
controller.
call generational trauma being passed down.
Sorry, Jake. I don't have kids, so I have to pass it on to yours.
I say they're pretty happy with it, so they didn't seem to mind too much.
That's very true.
You guys ready?
Come
on.
Do we have to be ready?
Hurry up.
Because I'm in charge this week, and so... Oh, you can hear me scratch my beard really good.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Well, that's kind of weird.
That kind of sounds like I'm brushing my teeth.
It does kind of sound like you're brushing your teeth. Josh is just over.
Josh just found a way to entertain himself for
Look how much fun I'm having. Now
so cool.
I'm brushing my teeth. Hey, wait, there's water dripping.
We don't need no soundboard.
We make our own.
We are our own.
This is me gagging.
All right, that's enough of this.
This is me picking my nose.
Welcome to the Twaddling Along podcast, the podcast where we make our own sound effects. I am your host, Dan McBride, here with my brothers and co-host Joshua.
Dude, I have a hole in my pants.
In your crotch. And Jacob.
Dang, dude.
What a way to... You passed the hole in the crotch over to me?
Well,
Look. It's right there.
I don't want to look at it.
yeah, why are you... It's inappropriate. I feel really uncomfortable right now.
You're going to turn this podcast from PG to PG-13X.
PG-13, like the Poltergeist.
Did the Poltergeist end up being PG-13?
It was the first.
It was PG. I think it got re-rated as PG-13.
It was the first PG-13.
It's just because we named it Poltergeist?
No. Like the
No,
movie.
not us.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought...
no, we've never had a... No, I
I was about to be like, I didn't even think we got rated that way,
No.
so I was a little confused.
Danny edited out all my inappropriateness.
No, I do not have us on the child-friendly ratings. It's
probably a safe bet.
But we're definitely not like, they call it explicit or mature on some things. We're just good old Utah boys.
I say I don't even know if we have a way of being explicit.
Oh, I could be explicit. Maybe one day we'll do an adults-only episode.
Where Josh just talks about poop the whole time.
Seriously.
Do you know what poop looks like after a rainy day?
Just like that.
It changes.
And there it goes. The adult.
We could talk about the science.
Twaddling along
solids.
after dark.
The adult one would be mostly... Okay, I've had to increase my fiber intake. My cholesterol's going through the roof. This is what I've had to do to
My blood
avoid
pressure is hovering around 140 over 90. I don't even know what I'm supposed to
I
be
get
doing.
out of bed in the morning and I have my joints make too much noise. It wakes up my neighbors.
That
You
would
guys
be
get-
the funniest prank ever.
Do you guys get up in the morning and feel like you've forgotten how to walk sometimes?
Oh, dude, I
fell
fell
over. I stumble.
I do that after I get off the toilet after I've been on it for 45 minutes.
So,
Well-
so I was trying to fix my toe at 4:30 in the morning. I was digging at it and stuff.
What? You don't need to use that. Don't use that verb. It's gross.
What, digging?
You don't like the word digging?
Digging into your toe?
Oh, I see. That does probably.
I was excavating my toe. But I sat on the floor so long, and I had my toe up in the air because the blood. I didn't want the blood flow. Mm-hmm. I forgot and got up, and I couldn't feel my feet. I face planted on the ground.
But your toe felt better, huh?
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
Okay, that's good.
He's like, wow, this did miracles.
Yeah, it was like, this is great.
I can't. I don't know which
And
way's
then
up
I
and
felt
down.
really bad for making fun of our grandpa for not feeling his feet.
Oh, as well you should have.
Yeah.
As he would get up and literally like lean to the left, and he would just be like toppling across the floor.
Yeah, I was going to say he would lean forward. He would lean forward as
He's
if
like,
that
I
was
could
the
go
thing
that
that was
way.
going to make. So Grandpa didn't walk. Grandpa fell forward and caught himself repeatedly. That's how he moved forward.
I don't want to point it out, but I think he was just a little front heavy.
That's me.
That's me too.
I say,
That's all of us.
We're all a little front.
So I guess
heavy.
it's not bad for me to say because I'm one of them.
Which, now wait for this segue, leads us to the human condition, because aren't we all a little front heavy, mentally speaking?
Technically, my weight, I could be part of the fat club in the 1900s
Oh,
in New York City.
there was a fat club in
Yeah.
New York City?
It was a gentleman's club.
but weren't you considered wealthy when you were fat?
I think so.
Or was that earlier?
No, I think the 1900s.
I mean, I know
Like
that
early
the Renaissance
1900s,
age,
because
like,
you have like Grover Cleveland and you have like Taft, who are our presidents. And they were seen as like part of the Gilded Age, like
the elite.
the elite. Even Teddy was a little rotund.
He was.
Look, there's the fat man's club.
And yeah, he rode a moose.
Well, that makes sense. Look at those top hats.
They were posh.
Man, I want top hats. Anyway, so we're talking about the human condition today. We're not talking about rotund people or gentlemen's club back in the early 1900s.
That came out
post-Gilded
wrong.
Age.
The gentleman's club.
It's not a strippers club. It was like a fraternity.
Yes. That's exactly what
Hey,
it was.
Josh, that sounded a whole lot like something Halloween related.
Whoa, segue. Jake, what are we talking about? Because you are the one in charge.
Oh, we are going to talk about.
What the Halloween are we talking about?
Oh, that's good. That was well played,
It
Josh.
sounded better in my head.
I think we've lost our audience already.
It's gone.
They already turned
If
it
you're
off.
still listening, press pound.
because
We're going to cause like an accident.
someone literally has it up to their they're just listening. My question is, where the freaking heck would they hit the pound button?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Well, if they're listening on their phone, I guess they could open their phone app and just hit pound.
Dial 555-555-5555.
Donate now.
That was a little sultry. Donate now. We don't take payment through phone.
At the light, turn right.
All right, Jake, what are we talking about? We've fooled around long enough.
We have.
Yeah.
We've twaddled about
We're twaddling.
along.
We are talking about Halloween.
Oh,
I know it's kind of a surprise, but
I'm
you know,
shocked.
with it being, this is happening in October, right?
yeah. This is going to be coming out.
What the heck? This is in June.
I think this is going to be October.
Not the date.
Let's see, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's going to be October 13th when this comes out.
Ooh, not to be confused with Friday the 13th. It's
No.
going to be Monday the 13th,
The
which
Monday the
honestly
13th.
for me is probably much, much worse.
Did you know that the one guy from Muppet Treasure Island, the bad guy, he had a stroke on Friday the 13th.
Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yep, that's when he had a stroke.
Now I'm all sad. Thanks for bringing the joy and happiness to us, Joshua.
No, but the reason I bring that up is it was the 20-year anniversary or 30-year or 40-year anniversary of his one Broadway or show.
What show? Are you talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
That one.
I see. Good cultural reference, Josh.
So, you know,
I-
Rocky Horror. Horror.
I sometimes wish we had a video
Halloween.
camera so you could have seen Josh's.
It's like this pleading with us, as if he's like, "Please help! I don't know where I've gone."
I started and I can't
This is
stop.
why we don't do a camera, because it will be like us looking at each other like, fill in the gaps.
Hurry up! Say something.
It's also us just laying down on our couch.
I was gonna say I'm lounging.
we don't sit up straight. I'm going to start off with an AI opening, Danny's favorite.
Ugh.
Hello, ghosts, and goblins, and welcome to Unmasking Halloween.
I thought we were going towards Haunted Mansion opening.
I'm your ghost host
Oh, what?
with the most, Jake.
Ugh.
You can just see Danny's face.
Kill me now. I hate it.
So, but one thing we're going to talk about is pretty much why people like Halloween. Because I don't know what it is. I liked Halloween growing up, and kids liked Halloween. But for some reason, even more now, I feel like adults
There is a lot
really
of
like
it.
Halloween
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah. So, are you in the camp of like, I hate Halloween, I wish it didn't exist? Or are you in the camp of, it's good for the kids? Or are you in the camp of, I really like Halloween?
I like the season of Halloween. I like kind of the fun decorations and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. I like goofy Halloween. I like watching the goofy shows that have Halloween themes. I like watching Scooby Doo. I like.
Josh, what are you laughing about?
Oh no, Josh is going.
No,
off.
it's totally off topic. I don't want to derail the whole
Don't derail.
segment.
No, don't derail the whole thing like you just barely did for no
Jeez.
So
reason.
what I did is, how do you answer an AI podcast opener? And it said, "This is how you start." Sure. My name is Joshua McBride, and I am an accountant at blankety blank blank blank.
Blankety blank blank blank.
Thanks for inviting me to this podcast.
You're welcome. Now, to get back on topic, Josh, where are you in the whole Halloween enjoyment?
I like going with the kids.
On Halloween itself.
Yeah, I like going with your children. I didn't like Halloween before. Like when I first got married, my wife was all about, and she still is, like dressing up and being a couple.
I say you
know.
guys do couple costumes.
Yeah, and what have I been? I've been cousin-it, so I just got a bunch of yarn and put it on myself. I was a broom because my wife was a witch.
Okay.
And then I was a inmate.
And your wife was a police officer.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So do you watch movies? Do you?
Oh yeah. My and like I said, I don't think I'm the force or the person egging Halloween on. It's my wife,
Sure.
and so I watch what she watches, and it's all Halloween stuff.
See, and I like the holiday. I like playing around. Again, I like the goofy side of it, the goofy decorations. I like, I'm not much of a pumpkin carver
Yeah.
or anything like that. And I don't really dress up. My dress ups are usually a shirt that says, I'm secretly a T-Rex.
Yeah.
And that's about my extent
I
of my
think
dressing
Jake
up.
has been Jake from State Farm for like years.
I was until Jake from State Farm changed skin color. And now if I did it, I'd be called a racist.
That is true.
That is very true.
No, and it's funny that we talk about Halloween because Utah actually has a interesting rap as being one of the most craziest states that celebrates, like goes over the top.
Yeah,
for
we have
Halloween.
a lot of heavy Halloween influence
Yes.
here in the state of Utah, and I mean for good reason. I think that there is, and we'll probably get into it, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think there's a psychological effect surrounding Halloween and kind of people that outside of Halloween are a little repressed, a little culturally repressed.
What are you talking about, the polygamists?
Yes.
Polygamous.
They come out, they're vampires.
Yeah, I don't know. So for Halloween, for me, I can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's not big, which is funny because I like all the things that you would kind of associate with Halloween. Like I do like the spookiness. I like the fun semi-occult things, but I also like kind of the goofy side of like the Halloween, the the Treehouse of Horrors, the
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks meet Frankenstein. I like all that stuff, but like the actual holiday, I don't know.
Well, that's my thing is like when you get to the holiday, it's almost like, now it's almost over.
Yeah, I almost feel like we've gotten into a rut, and this isn't just Halloween in general, but most holidays where the buildup of the holiday kind of ruins the holiday. Like you're celebrating Halloween, or you're seeing Halloween being celebrated for such a long time that by the time you get to Halloween, you're like, oh my gosh, I just want this to be done.
Commercialism.
Well, and if you go out with me and my kids will go around and go to 5-6 houses, maybe a little bit more, but then go, I'm tired.
I don't know. Your boy went and run into like a bunch of them.
He wanted to go. He would have gone to more, but then we had Olivia.
That's
to
true.
just do it.
See, and it's funny because if you ask me if I ever went trick-or-treating, I don't remember ever going trick-or-treating growing up, even though our parents claim that I went like once. I don't remember going out.
See, Dad would take us.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No,
That's
I
interesting.
say
I remember going trick or treating. When I was little, we actually used to go to Grandma and Grandpa Minson's to trick or treat.
Really?
Go
Yeah,
around
and
theirs.
I don't remember that.
See, and I remember going around, and I remember there being a lot more themed houses and like fun things. Like people were, when you go up and would knock on doors, people would open the door and have a little bit more interaction and fun things
and
going on. But
I don't know. I would push back on that because I think that might just be nostalgia. That you remember the ones that were actually, because I don't know, at least in this neighborhood, I can think of 2 or 3 houses I knew of that we would go around that actually had kind of like the theme. Everybody else was, you'd come to the door and they would give you candy or they'd make you sing like a Christmas carol or whatever.
oh, I never had anyone sing Christmas Carol.
You really didn't?
Nope.
You didn't stop by my mother-in-law's house.
Your mother-in-law's house?
Oh, 100%. My in-laws, every single Halloween, will make them sing Christmas carols.
That's awesome.
I say I don't feel like we ever went that direction.
No, we
think
went
Mostly
went
because
across
we
the
had
street and-
stinking dogs that were
That's true.
out
right
to
there.
get
That's
people.
true.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting.
No, we had quite a few that like they would open the door and they would have themes inside and things like that. That they would do things. They wouldn't let you in, but like there was some fun stuff.
Oh, interesting.
But I mean, I wasn't a big trick or treater, so
I wasn't
much
either.
to my dad's dismay because my dad loves chocolate, and this was the perfect time for him to get chocolate, but his kids were just not.
Danny, did you trick or treat a lot?
I did actually trick or treat pretty heavily up until I was 10, 11-ish.
See, and we had a rule in our family: once you hit 12, you couldn't.
You weren't
Trick or treat anymore.
Trick or treating anymore.
But then you felt obligated to scare people. At least that was me.
That
You
was
felt
you, and
obligated?
then you passed it
or
on
you
to me.
wanted to.
I wanted to.
Oh, I was going to say. I don't think it was
My
really
friends were just like, "Hey, we should definitely do this." So I did it for a few years because I had the Grim Reaper. Which, if you look at pictures, you have this short, chubby Grim Reaper going around. I mean, I don't think I was scaring anyone the way I thought I was scaring
But
people.
you did scare somebody so bad that it terrified you.
He cried. Well, he didn't terrify me. It made me feel so guilty. I never did it again. So it was I was on our front lawn dressed in really dark thing, and I was just scaring little kids as they came by. Well, one kid came by, scared him. He let out a shriek that was
blood curdling.
yeah, and then he started crying uncontrollably, and it was one of those moments I went, "Oh, this isn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be." Where the years before, I thought it was hilarious because we used to go scare teenagers.
Do you know what I did? I would sit up in the tree in the front yard, and there was a branch that would hang over the sidewalk, and I'd sit on it and then swing down when people came. Like, I'd have my legs, and then I'd swing down and like try to scare them that way.
And then Josh would flip off in his head on the cement.
Yeah, that's why the way
That's
I'm
why
in.
Josh doesn't remember any Halloweens.
No,
concussions.
but it's funny because if you see our sister is dressed up every Halloween
She loves
since
Halloween.
the beginning.
But she's also the door getter.
She is the door getter.
Loves Halloween. Well, and this is the other thing. So, trick or treating, I will admit, is about my least favorite part of Halloween. But there are like family traditions that we used to have growing up that I loved. I loved going up to Grandma and Grandpa's, or eventually Grandma and Grandpa's would come out to us. We would have a specific meal on Halloween night.
Yeah, it was chili stacks, and then it became chili
Getty
getty.
later. Yeah. We would watch specific movies.
That's true.
I mean, There was a lot of stuff that we did.
Dad would have that one soundtrack on his old stereo
creepy
underneath.
one.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you kind of adopted that
I still do it. If I'm home doing it, I love passing out candy. I actually at one time had a...
It was like an automatic candy.
For the COVID years, I actually had like something where I had a skeleton that would hand out the candy.
Yep. And then you had a creepy mic with a voice changer and stuff.
Yep.
That's right.
So I guess maybe I do like Halloween. I don't know.
This is Danny's realization.
This is my intervention.
But Danny, I don't think I've ever seen you dress up. Except
I
for
dress up.
like church
Not for
events.
Halloween. I was going to say for like our church event Halloween stuff, I'll dress up every single year. I went as the guy from Up one year.
Oh, that's true.
Last year I went as Mike Wazowski.
Oh.
So I'll dress up, but I don't normally dress up on the night of Halloween because most of the time it's cold and I'm taking the kids around and I want to be comfortable. So I'm in like sweats and
I just throw together old costumes. And then like I just have this fro and glasses. And that's the extent.
and you're like, oh.
I'm like, that was fun.
So where did it all begin? Where did the appeal of Halloween come from?
Well, you see, Josh, thousands of years ago, and by that I mean 2,000 years ago, the ancient Celts,
It's in our blood.
they had a festival. It was pronounced Samhain,
Samhain.
but it's not spelled that way whatsoever.
Spelled Sam Hine.
Yeah. Which I mean
Samhain.
also sounds really cool too.
Samhain.
So I think we're going to go more into this maybe for the historical podcast that's going to be coming up that week.
Well, there goes all the stuff I did. No.
Next week.
No, we can still go over some. I mean, but one thing, I mean, they believed that there was a time, especially, during the long dark winter. I mean, they're very superstitious. They're terrified. They're terrified of ghosts.
They're scarified.
And spirits. And so what they would do is that they would dress themselves up like spirits in order to kind of avoid issues.
Passed out.
Specifically in furs, wasn't it? Wasn't it big in like they would take the skin and furs of animals and they would drape it over themselves?
That's awesome. That's called wearing clothes.
It kind of is.
Yep. And they all did it I love how this was worded, to ward off these malevolent phantoms.
I always found it interesting in talking about Samhain that like we focus so heavily on that when like pretty much every single culture out there has some kind of something similar to this.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that type of thing, I mean, with sneezing, for heck's sake, that tradition has continued on into our day, when literally it was to ward off spirits when you say bless you.
Yeah.
After you sneeze. So like,
I mean, you have that, you have All Saints Day, Day of the Dead. I mean, you have all these things that they really, I mean, for various different reasons. I mean, these guys are trying to ward off evil. Other people are embracing the idea of death and things like that. So,
yeah, we'll have to. I do think it would be a good idea when it gets close to Halloween to do the history of it, because there is a really interesting reason as to why Halloween even came over here in the first place. It has to do a lot with Catholicism and Protestantism, and it has to do with the Irish famine, and it has to do with safe divination and a bunch of weird kind of fun things when it comes to the history of it. So
there you go. We can talk about that
next week.
Next time.
Next 2 weeks.
Whenever.
But the psychology of the Halloween thing, I think, is actually pretty darn interesting.
Well, what's interesting is here you have these little events that are where our ancestors are genuinely, I got it, terrified.
Yeah.
And so here you have this holiday that is met with raw terror, and now it's turned into a thrill. We literally are celebrating something that once upon a time was met with, apprehension and everything like that. And there's a whole lot of different things. I mean, when you look at the psychology behind it, it's very fascinating because, you got to think about everything that takes place in Halloween. People are going out of their way to go find scare things. They're looking for opportunities to be scared. They're going to places that they know they're going to get chased by a clown wielding a chainsaw.
Uh-huh.
Now, I would like to think that, 100 years ago, people would be like, you want to go where? You want to get chased by what?
That's true in the 20s.
I was going to say, except that 100 years ago was the 1920s. So
They were all drunk.
well, and in the 1920s is when there also started to be the rise of what was considered to be some of the first horror movies. Like that's when
The silent films.
Nosferatu came out. Yeah,
Nosferatu.
but 200 years ago, I think that people would have been like, "You were all idiots."
Yeah, what
They
are
would
you
all
doing?
wanted
They
to
would
do.
have put us in an asylum.
We want to just get together, drink loads of ale, bob for apples, and then do divination.
Yep.
Well, and it's funny because, here in the U.S., Halloween is, a relatively big thing. But in Canada, it's around Canadian Thanksgiving is around Halloween. It's in October. And so it is more of a feast than it is,
Yeah.
October Thanksgiving or Canadian Thanksgiving is way bigger than Halloween.
I was actually
Big time.
looking at the economics of it in the U.S. So Halloween in the U.S. is a $12 billion yearly enterprise. That's how much people
That's
will spend
ridiculous.
in it's about $114 a person on Halloween every single year. Now that Halloween pales in comparison compared to like Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas is just like huge and humongous. And even like Easter still outcompetes Halloween, which I found very interesting. But like Halloween is almost purely American.
Yeah.
There really isn't a Halloween tradition outside of the US. Like I was reading a quote by a guy from France that said France tried it and realized that they hated it and then just stopped. Like that, it's kind of that way throughout the world.
Well, the idea of going to a stranger's house, knocking on their door and saying trick or treat and receiving candy that you don't know where it came from. Outside the U.S., that is a creepy.
Well, you say that, but that's actually not true. That's what Boxing Day is.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
they already have their kind of, they have this thing. The Halloween is like purely American.
Yeah.
We do enjoy it.
We love it.
So to get to the psychology part of it, you have your amygdala. This is the part of your brain that is kind of the threat detector. So it's what makes your brain go on high alert when you encounter situations where you have the fight or flight response. So your heart starts pounding, your pupils dilate, your body floods with the cocktail of chemicals, including adrenaline and cortisol. It's your body's way of preparing you to either punch that clown that's chasing you with the chainsaw or run away screaming, which majority of the time is the second.
That was
good, Josh.
That sounded like a 3-year-old in high heels.
You're welcome.
So, but the thing here's the interesting part. So here you have all this going on in your brain. You're putting yourself in these really quote unquote terrifying situations, but because it's Halloween, your conscious brain knows that even though you're in this, dangerous situation, you are in fact safe.
Safe fear, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So why do we enjoy it? Because we know that ultimately we're going to get the thrill of the fear. We're going to have all those, chemicals, the neurotransmitters go flying through your brain, give you all sorts of interesting feelings, but you're safe.
Yeah.
You're not actually experiencing what would be considered a super terrifying, dangerous situation that is life-threatening.
I found a whole article that was talking about it that I was reading, and I found it really interesting. One of the things they said is one of the biggest and deepest psychological processes in play in Halloween is not necessarily fear, but the immediate after effect of fear, the catharsis. Your body can come naturally down from the fear, and they say in a world that's got rising anxiety, like that feeling of catharsis is actually like it's almost addictive. And so they were saying that's part of one of the reasons that Halloween is so kind of big, especially in what they call like the Gen X millennial area, is because Gen X and millennials have kind of a higher case rate of anxiety, and people are actually ironically seeking out this catharsis through Halloween stuff without knowing that they're doing it.
They just enjoy it.
So here's my question as a person with anxiety and crap. Do you think that naturally people were led to create a holiday where this is the case. They're getting scared and stuff because we no longer have, like, on a daily process, like that adrenaline dump. For example, like, if you look at, I've forgotten the word.
I know what you're saying. Like, if it's back in the old days, saber-toothed tigers would run after us.
Yeah, exactly. And so we had to have that natural adrenaline often to stay alive. And now our body doesn't really have that as often, but needs to release that in some way. And so we've naturally created a holiday to do something like that.
I don't know.
It's a way. I found this quote that they have a professor at Duke University that just said it's a way to simulate fear and to practice and enjoy the experience of being afraid without real cost.
A safe and controlled environment. The quote that I have from Bailey, Dr. Bailey Chisholm. The confrontation can lead to a sense of release or relief, a psychological cleansing that leaves us feeling lighter and more at ease than before. So, Josh, you've been to a couple scary
Heck yeah, man.
Houses.
Yeah, I love haunted houses.
Do you find afterward that you feel a catharsis? Like after like a big scare,
An exhilaration.
So this is going to sound very prideful, but I don't really get scared in haunted houses. Mm-hmm. So I don't have naturally like, oh, I'm going to punch you or going to run away. My thing is it's the ability to go into that situation, come out unharmed and unfazed, but see everyone else going through that and realize that I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Of like, you're the one being scared. Like, this is fake, whatever. So, I mean, haunted houses are fun. I laugh most of the time just because I like seeing people make fun of themselves. But I wouldn't say I necessarily have, like, a coming down moment because I don't have the going up.
Yeah. Do you have a coming down moment when you watch scary movies?
Yes.
Do you?
That I do. Which is really funny because you would think that physically a haunted house would be scarier because you're in the moment. Where for me, scary movies gets my mind thinking.
Yeah.
And for me, my mind goes crazy. And then like watching a Disney movie after and having that come down. I think that's why Disney movies are so popular is because they're watched after the...
Because they are the go-to for, bringing yourself down from it.
Uh-huh.
It's really interesting because I was reading that there's two kind of people out there. There's the people that can watch a scary movie and can have that kind of like, oh, this is just a movie. I'm scared, but I'm going to be okay. And then there's the others that kind of internalize what's happening.
Yeah.
And it kind of corroborates with those people who like Halloween and those who don't. People with an overactive imagination that have anxiety when it comes to scary things have a drastically different kind of approach to Halloween than others that don't.
Interesting.
I'm one that has an overactive imagination.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, Jake, that so with you not liking, I mean, you like Halloween, but not like go into a hardcore.
No.
Is it because you're worried that those things can be internalized and you'll be worried about them?
It's one of those things where it's my mind will come up with stuff throughout. And I mean, we've talked about, I am superbly, what's the word?
Susceptible.
Not susceptible. I am superbly non-believing.
Skeptical.
Gotcha.
Yep, skeptical in a majority of this stuff because I've had to learn to be that way.
Yeah. Because your mind is already...
Yes, because my mind will play tricks on me all the time.
Gotcha.
And so I've literally had to learn to be like, I hear footsteps behind me. There's nothing behind me. Mm-hmm. It's just something in my imagination. I hear flapping when I'm outside. Something is approaching. There's nothing approaching.
Now, I will bring up this. Put me back in high school, and I was a lot more reactive to those type of things. Mm-hmm. Since I've been on pills, and it's kind of dulled that emotion, it like really, I could just go and be fine. Sure. So I guess I am on that end of like, I would have that natural reaction of increase of adrenaline and freak out and scary movies. I was waiting for a phone call saying 7 days, whatever.
Sure.
But nowadays it's like, meh.
Mine was being followed by aliens after watching Signs of My Friend's House because he said it'd be fun. Now I don't go into haunted houses. I just don't do that stuff. Despite my skeptical nature, I still get scared very easily. Like I get jump scared pretty easily. I try to act tough in front of my family, but let's be honest. If I walk into a quote unquote haunted house and someone jumps out with a chainsaw, I'm gonna jump. I'm not gonna be like, ha ha, you foolish, non-true, fake thing.
See, now let's turn the gears a little bit and talk about my wife, who hates haunted houses but loves haunted movies. And the reason she hates haunted houses is because she's watched a haunted movie where a psychopath goes into a haunted house and becomes an actor. And
Your
actually,
wife hates haunted houses? I swear
She
you guys have gone to
hates-
more haunted houses than anybody.
we have. But
Does that mean you're forcing your poor wife to these haunted houses,
You're-
Joshua?
no, she's
Bad
the one.
person.
Whatever.
Sure.
But
Person.
she doesn't like haunted houses because of the possibility that one of the actors could be real and will kill her.
There is an overactive imagination.
Yeah, but she loves movies.
It's catastrophizing.
Yep.
I found some new podcasts I really like with some therapists that were going over some of the stuff.
And
One
they
of the
use that
guys,
word?
he's from the. He almost sounds like he's from Mississippi. I don't know if he actually is, but
Mississippi.
he has a really deep Southern accent. He's a therapist, and he just goes over a bunch of stuff, and he just constantly tells people, he's like, "Look, the problem is people are like, oh, I need to get to a safe place." He's like, a safe place is literally a conception in your brain. You can make any place a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you go to a haunted house, you could probably make that your safe places if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
To be completely frank with you, I think some people do.
Yeah.
I think some people find these scary haunted houses or sorry, the like scary movies, that is their safe spot because they know that it's fake.
Yeah.
Like the whole world is kind of scary and their anxieties are going out of control and they're facing fear that is not abating on a daily basis. And so they escape to these kind of areas because they know that eventually it's going to end.
Yeah. They know that to defeat whatever they're doing, they just either walk out the exit or turn off the TV.
Exactly.
So here, there's a question here. It says, so in our modern world, we are bombarded by a 24/7 news cycle of very real, but often intangible anxieties. It is a ritual like Halloween, more psychologically necessary than ever.
And I think
I think it's more popular than ever.
No.
So I would say probably.
and that kind of goes along with that I was bringing up earlier. Is it now a necessity for our body to experience that high and come off it to, ease out because we go through so much anxieties and everything?
Well, yeah, and here's the follow-up question is it a crucial outlet for us to experience and conquer a tangible fear, even if it's a fake one? Ooh. We almost need a victory. So we're getting deep into Halloween. But how about the funny stuff? On a more personal level, would it be scarier to face the zombie apocalypse or to watch the news?
The news.
Yeah, isn't that sad? The news, because I feel like I could take on the zombie apocalypse. And if I get bit, yeah, whatever.
Then you don't know, and you're just happily wandering around looking for brains.
Eating brains. Isn't that funny?
Brains.
But that kind of goes back to what did I grow up on? Call of Duty, zombies and stuff. And so that's not scary for me.
Do you guys? Call of Duty of zombies. Mine was sunflower.
The Plant
There's
versus
a
Zombies
zombie
versus
on
zombies.
your lawn. So now I know I can literally just plant a bunch of flowers and they'll just
Kill
I
them
think,
with
I think the
peas.
biggest problem is there is no escape. No escaping the 24-hour news feed.
unless you
and-
actively turn it off.
Well, but even then, we are. I think that the 24-hour news feed is literally tapping into this idea that we are seeking some kind of emotional response to something. You know what I'm talking about? Like we're wanting this kind of adrenaline rush, and so they market themselves and they market everything as the adrenaline rush, but there's never the payoff of the adrenaline rush. You know, we don't ever get to escape into a cave. We're always running, and the saber-toothed tiger is chasing us.
Until you go to Bear Lake.
Until you go to Bear Lake.
And then you're happy until you try to go in the middle of the water, and then, you know,
So
monster comes
let's
out.
bring up a very controversial thing. Do you think in situations like that, for example, the news and whatever, that they specifically post news that get that rise
100%.
when they could, you know, I know if you even look 20 years ago, the news used to be happy. You know, they would, hey, this person got $1 million or this person got saved and it's a great day and let's celebrate him for a year. Now you never hear stuff like that. It's always 10 million people.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's a question anymore. I think that's just the true statement.
It's a marketing point.
Yeah, because they get paid by the amount of clicks.
So here's my question. Are they committing chemical warfare?
Ooh. Are you talking about, are they causing us anxiety?
Yeah, because they are now using our own natural tendencies against us.
I mean, you could probably make the case that they've been using our natural tendencies against us from the very beginning.
Sorry.
We
that
can
was
say
just
we
the-
can say that about anything.
Yeah.
We could say that about restaurants.
Well, that's
These guys are literally trying
McDonald's.
to.
Fun fact, McDonald's makes $53 billion from the U.S. Every single year. And that's compared to the $12 billion that we pay for Halloween. So we actually pay almost 4 times more just to get our McDonald's fix than we pay for Halloween stuff.
Do you know what I liked
Grimace.
growing up? Is the Halloween advertisements and Halloween decorations / kid boxes and stuff you used to get.
yeah.
They don't seem to do it quite as much
No.
anymore. They'll do little things, but
do you know what was my
Arctic
favorite
Circle
thing?
still will.
I was
Arctic
going to
Circle,
say.
Arctic Circle still has their line.
I still go to Arctic Circle for that reason.
100% for my kids, yeah.
Yep, and that's how. Also, the cereal boxes we used to get the Frankenstein and the
Oh, I still get blueberries.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
exactly.
Oh, man.
I say we got the
Frankenberries,
Is a
blueberries.
No, it's the
what's the
vampires, the
Frankenberries,
cocoa.
the pink one. What's
Yeah,
the okay?
Frankenberries was the pink one.
Say we just got those ones because of my lost organ. I have to eat healthy ones right now. So I can do it. Whatever.
It's called K.
I'm eating fiber cereal all the time.
Smart K. K Smart.
Are there any other psychological reasons why people like Halloween?
So we're actually going to move on. Actually, how much time do we have?
We got time.
Okay. We're going to move on to why do people dress up and why do we enjoy dressing up on Halloween?
I like this question.
Because they don't love themselves.
You don't love them. Wow. Gosh.
Identity exploration.
Yes.
An opportunity to be something that you might not be in real life.
There's another PhD level dude that I was listening to that wrote a whole article in Psychology Today called Lawrence R. Samuels, and one of the big things he talks about is that precise thing that Halloween is a time for adults to not only allow but even support anti-normative themes.
Ooh. So a costume is a psychological permission slip to, step outside your normal identity.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're encouraged to do it. I mean, you encourage your kids to dress up as something for Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, even my work encourages us to dress up as the departments for Halloween.
Really?
I never do because
my work
unfortunately
doesn't.
my department doesn't do that. But
Yeah, I bet your work doesn't. Actually, something that actually surprises me a little bit.
We dress up as missionaries.
Yeah, I bet. No, I think that there is something to be said that, and you see this a lot, unfortunately, in some of the ways that people dress for Halloween in the more provocative manner.
Yeah, it's become
I wasn't
big.
gonna go too much into it, but there actually is some interesting studies that for all the talk we have out there about people don't do that, they don't that's not the reason they're dressing up that way. There's actually studies where people are like, oh no, 100%, this is the only chance I get to dress up in a provocative manner.
and to be seen and
Yeah.
And to be seen as culturally appropriate.
Yeah, and I can, and if I want, I can wear a mask. and people have no idea.
Yeah.
So it's really, I mean, I did find that one. I thought that was really interesting because it was like, oh yeah, that's kind of, a little different than sometimes we hear.
Another quote, the holiday is, in other words, the one day of the year during which we are not only allowed, but encouraged to, as David Beim put it, stop making sense. It is a time for us that we can kind of abandon all of our cultural and social manners and throw it caution to the wind and be something completely different. It's kind of our Mardi Gras.
So here's my question. All right, Jake, I'm gonna target you for a second.
Targeting Jake.
You follow the rules,
I do.
and you feel guilty if you don't.
Yes.
So in that sense, if we go back to your teenagehood when you were scaring people, was that almost a like a personification of you trying to break away from that for a day? I mean, you probably didn't think about it. But
I mean, it to a point. They
that you were the bad boy.
if we're gonna go deeper into psychology, you call it maybe like the enclothed cognition, where while you're dressed as this, you act differently than you would normally.
Yeah.
And so for me, I mean, dressing up as the Grim Reaper, as Ring Wraith, as something, dark makes you go, ooh, I can scare people.
Yeah.
Where again, normally, I mean, I was a husky little kid and I had a really high voice. I still do. So, I mean, I was not scary. And oftentimes I was not considered, I'm not manly. I'm not athletic. So it's like, oh, one of these things where it's like, hey, I can do something that I kind of would think would be fun.
Interesting.
So
It's kind of the same way with like acting, I feel. Going on stage and becoming a whole different persona.
Sure.
well, that's the reason. I mean, even in outside of Halloween, what do they tell you when you're at home or you're going to an interview or you're going to school? It's like dress for the occasion.
Yeah, dress for success.
Yeah,
dress for the way that you want to.
And they have actually done studies on this where they've dressed people up as doctors. And those people tend to act a little bit more studious. They act a little bit more professional. It's the same thing like when you're working at home, people that are dressing up in their suits, even at home, which for us is like, what are you doing? That's crazy. Don't do that. But it keeps people cognitively involved in the activity just because that's that enclosed cognition where it's like I'm dressed to act professionally.
It's interesting.
So for Halloween, it's just awesome. But one thing that's interesting is, especially here in Utah, one of the biggest things that we like doing during the year is we have a huge Comic-Con, not really Comic-Con, a FanX.
Yeah.
FanX, yeah.
But it's a comic convention.
Yeah, it's comic convention, and it, like gigantic here. And so you can see, and it's this thing is that one's really not for kids. Like normally when you see pictures, it's a bunch of adults, and it's not just young adults.
Yeah, there's some old people. Yeah.
So you can see like people like doing this when given the opportunity. And I feel like over the last, I would say decade, because I felt like when we were growing up, cosplay and that type of nerdy behavior was very much frowned upon.
Yeah.
And it was very limited,
Yeah.
I feel, to a certain group or style of people.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, oh, the Dungeons and Dragon nerds type of thing, or the Star Wars nerds were like, when the Star Wars movies came out, so like Attack of the Clones is the ones I remember, and then also the...
Revenge of
the Sith is where I actually saw people dressed up in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah. Well, I worked in a movie theater when the Harry Potters came out, and people came in droves. We're not talking like one or two. We're talking like groups of
Whole
15,
theater.
20, 30, 40 people coming dressed as wizards. So...
And because they wanted to be involved in the story even more so. And again, at the time, it was just kind of like, nerd, even though I was the biggest nerd, and I would have been like, I want to dress up like you guys.
Yeah.
But now, that
It's
almost
almost
seems
accepted.
like a lot more accepted. And it almost seems like, and I could be completely off, but it almost seems like the whole idea of the sports where like people are like, oh,
herd mentality kind of thing.
that's becoming less, or you even have these big beefy sports people, or even the big beefy actors. Mm-hmm. Who's the guy that played Superman? Not the new one, but the last one. Henry Cavill. I mean, here's a guy, he's nerding out over Warhammer, over all sorts of things like that, where it's just becoming a lot more
Mainstream.
acceptable. And you can see that almost with Halloween, where it's like it used to be for kids, and the adults would dress up, but now you're seeing a lot more. It almost seems like engagement in terms of decoration and other things.
Yeah, I will definitely say it has impacted me. I'm a different person when I dress up. For example, I'm an introvert. Very much so. I feel like our whole family is pretty introverted, except for our sister who loves to talk to people.
We're introverts that parade as extroverts.
Yes. But my wife, during her schooling as a cosmetologist, had a kind of a catwalk model show where you could show off your skills in makeup and hair and whatever, and then you send your model out and whatever. If you asked me to do that in my normal clothes, I probably wouldn't do it. But when I'm dressed up as the Wolfman, I'm going to go out and I'm going to play the part. And for me, that's a way that I can. I could never just do that just normally. But if I can step into another thing, I'm comfortable in doing something like that. And so with Halloween, like, it's the same thing. Like, am I Cousin It? Yeah, because I don't talk. But am I a broom? No, but I can be a broom. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going with that, Josh.
I don't know either. What I'm saying is people who dress up.
Be a broom, Josh.
Well, I think just people are.
You're
are
hiding
feeling,
yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
You're putting
You
a
have
mask
to be
on, and
different.
you're not Josh at that time. You are this character. No,
Exactly.
I get what you're saying. Can I change topics just for 2 seconds? Because there's something that I found in
Go for it.
the study that was kind of something that I didn't think about, and that is Halloween is a way for us to confront death and anxiety.
Yes.
Ooh.
Have you ever heard of that one?
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting notion because really you do. I mean, skeletons are everywhere.
It's the top fear. It'll literally, you look on any kind of psychologist or psychology list, and it's always listed as the number one fear is the fear of death.
It's true.
And so this was another article that I found that just said that death is always represented as a ubiquitous but elusive dread. Like we're always thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And Halloween is one of those times where we can openly confront the idea of death and make it so it's not something scary.
Yeah.
Like the skeletons or like the zombies or, they're almost like a fanciful creation of the death anxiety. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
No, it's really interesting because it's, I mean, as we talked about earlier, I mean, they've found through studies that the people that tend to enjoy Halloween the most are those who have anxiety disorders. And it's one thing where someone in one of the articles talked about, people living with anxiety are well acquainted with fear. And here you have a spooky holiday that it's not introducing a new feeling. Rather, it's just putting this internal feeling on external display, validating the people's feelings.
And embracing it, really.
Which almost lets you face it and go through it. And when I went through school and studied psychology, one of the big things that they always talked about was, oftentimes when you're working with people who have faced trauma and faced these crazy fears and everything, is you're not trying to get them to necessarily escape from it. Mm-mm. You're having them learn to face it.
Yeah.
In a way that is both meaningful and validating and also allows for a more positive outcome, where I've seen people that run away.
Sure.
Yep.
And when they run away, unfortunately, it almost seems like sometimes there's just not as much momentum.
Yeah.
And they're where, again, with Halloween, it's one of those that you can see. You're like, oh, hey, I'm scared of all this stuff, and now it's being put on display, and now I can face it not only by myself, but with a community of other people.
Yeah.
So, in the sense, Halloween is a therapeutic holiday.
Well, it's funny that you say that because you look at the change that Halloween has gone through. Mm-hmm. And I do want to do the history of Halloween because it really is kind of interesting. But the change that Halloween has gone through kind of proves the point that Halloween has become kind of this cultural therapy session.
Yeah.
You look at the obsession, and I use that word literally, that people kind of get over the Halloween, holiday where they're saying, hey, this is my time. This is my place. This is my, this is my existence. And you can't help but wonder, like, this has got to be coming from somewhere psychologically. So more than likely it's coming from this deep-seated kind of existential dread that they're able to face one time a year. And that one time a year is a cathartic kind of, this overall kind of really good experience for them. So good on them. I mean, if you love Halloween, then gosh dang it, you keep loving Halloween because it's probably keeping you far more sane than I am.
Well, there was a research done by John Johnson at Penn State, and he found something very interesting during the COVID pandemic. He discovered that fans of horror movies, and especially the prepper films like the zombie apocalypse preppers, the end of the world preppers and stuff like that, showed greater resilience and had less psychological distress. So the idea that these films act as simulations, allowing us to practice coping with chaos from safety of our couch. So now
I want to prove that. Are you ready?
I want to go for it.
I used to, when someone would pull out in front of me or I'd almost get in a crash, get an adrenaline rush. I don't get that anymore. I can literally brush it off and be like, meh. It happened.
Are you saying because you've faced being cut off so many times? Is that what you're saying, Josh?
I've watched so many things of different cars, stuff.
Now, Josh, on the way here, someone pulled out in front of us,
Jake,
and you
don't need to bring in personal life. But was that out of I was scared, or was that out of comedy to try to make you laugh?
I think it was out of absolute fear because you jumped. And then I started laughing.
But I didn't have that adrenaline dump. My body didn't go into reaction. It was, ah! And then, okay.
It was, ah! And then look at that stupid head.
So here's what we found so far.
Josh is a liar.
Josh is completely invalidated by one story, everything we've talked about. That wasn't even associated with Halloween to begin with, was instead associated with road rage. No, congratulations, Josh.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad I'm here.
Here's one last humorous question. For those of you who live with anxiety, let's be honest about the real threats. Which scenario is truly more terrifying? Walking through a haunted house where you know a guy in a mask is going to pop out and get you, or the social obligation to make small talk for 3 solid hours with your partner's coworkers at a Halloween party?
It's terrifying.
I think my heart rate just increased.
Just picturing it in my mind.
Just walking into any social obligation.
Oh.
I used to be so good at those. Lately, I just feel like I've kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it goes back to that getting older. My joints pop and everything. I also just get grumpy. I go into things and people are talking to me and I'm like, you're still talking.
Shh, quiet. Everybody, shh.
And sometimes it's the circle talk where like they'll go around into the same thing. But yeah, I do like going home.
I honestly think though that has to do, not to get super off topic, but I also think that has to do with the world that we live in that we are so inundated by information that our social battery actually drains before we're actually placed in a social situation.
Oh my gosh, all my Facebook feeds I'm reading through, it's making me.
Exactly. Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
You will have one more episode from us before Halloween starts. It looks and sounds like we will be talking about Halloween again, specifically the history of Halloween, which I'm kind of excited about. Let's do some final thoughts, though, starting with Joshua. What's your final thoughts on the psychology of Halloween?
Final thoughts is get some therapy, people. I think we all need it. And Halloween's a good way to start.
I like it. I will tell you one thing. We didn't even get into like the culture of Halloween. We didn't get into the economics of Halloween. We didn't get into anything like that. It's so fascinating how one day a year, that this day that came from ancient Celtic whatever, passed down whatever, now holds such a weird part in our own culture when there were hundreds, if not thousands, of different holidays that kind of just went away. Why Halloween is that one that stuck around is crazy to think about.
And you'll find out next podcast, too.
Yeah, hopefully, as we kind of talk about it, it will be good. Jake, why don't you end us on this discussion on Halloween and psychology.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed our podcast today.
Oh, no AI.
I'm not reading AI. I'm just putting my phone away.
Oh. I was worried.
That sounded very AI.
That sounded pretty AI.
Thank you for coming to our podcast.
We have enjoyed every moment. Well, I think the big thing is that as we've journeyed together through this, you've seen that Halloween is not necessarily just about candy, even though I think most people do enjoy the candy. But there's one thing that's really interesting is that as time goes on, I've noticed that Halloween is not necessarily just a holiday, but a lifestyle for a lot of people.
That's interesting.
Where you see the people that they almost enjoy Halloween-related things throughout the year. I mean, after Halloween, one of the most popular movies for Christmas is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't understand it.
I love that movie.
But some people really enjoy it. And it's just one of those, you could see, even during other things, that it's just they really, really, really enjoy it.
Sure.
I like Halloween for October, and I like the fall, but then I leave it in October.
Because then you make Christmas your entire
No, because then it's
personality.
Thanksgiving, and then I don't want to decorate.
That's what I want. I make Thanksgiving my entire.
Yes.
The pure gluttony of Thanksgiving is my entire personality.
It's funny that it's like, what's your two favorite holidays? Well, I love Thanksgiving, and then I love the Super Bowl. Oh, you like watching football? Nope. The food.
Pure gluttons.
So, but Halloween's fun. I do enjoy it, and now I really want to go watch some Scooby-Doo movies. So,
I love it. Well, everybody, just as a reminder, we are off next week, which means that you will not hear from us, but be on the lookout for the week after for our next kind of series, starting with the Halloween history, or the history of Halloween, whatever.
pray for me.
Yeah, leave a comment of what your Halloween costume is this year. We'd like to see what you're wearing.
Also,
for
let us know
ideas.
Let us know about your Halloween traditions.
Yeah.
What do you do for Halloween? Are you a trick-or-treater? Are you a partier? Are you a let's go to haunted houses? It would be kind of interesting to hear the differences that are out there.
Do you turn your lights off,
And just hope no one
close the
comes by.
blinds, and don't have anything open during Halloween? People used to get egged for that. I didn't know that was a big thing. So,
Thus the trick or treat. If you're
right.
not going to give a treat, you're going to get a trick.
as I come out with my eggs,
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
who am I?